House Judiciary Committee now wants information from Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson and Merck. This is all about the investigation into the Biden administration's censorship campaign. House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan joins us this morning. Congressman, I'm going to get to tomorrow's big hearings later on. But right now, I want to know which documents from Big Pharma do you want and why do you want them?
Well, we just have reason to believe that they were part of this overall censorship effort. You know, we got this amazing decision on July 4th from the federal court in Louisiana where they say big government was working hand in glove with big tech to censor American speech. And they talked about all these agencies, including CDC, including NIAID, Anthony Fauci, all these agencies doing that. We want to know if they were also in that equation. Was Big Pharma, was Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Merck, were they involved in this censorship effort? Did they participate? Were they willing participants? So we want that information. We think it may exist. We think there's a good chance this happened. And we just want to know, because we want to know how pervasive this overall effort was to restrict Americans' First Amendment liberties. Okay, so you want that from Big Pharma. Next case. Your committee is going to hear testimony from the IRS whistleblowers tomorrow. What are we going to see? I think it's going to be a blockbuster. I've been building this thing up. This is a really big deal. Tell us, what are we going to see? Well, we're going to hear from two of these IRS agents who are now whistleblowers. The one thing I would say is no one has refuted one thing these individuals have said. In fact, it's just the opposite. We now have an FBI agent who's come forward who's confirmed what these two whistleblowers have brought to the United States Congress. So I think the question is quickly becoming, who are you going to believe? Biden's Justice Department that said parents were terrorists, that Catholics were extremists, that were part of that censorship effort I was just talking about, or two whistleblowers who've had outstanding reviews, who each worked for over a decade, were the go-to guys in the agency for handling international tax fraud cases. You're going to believe them, whose story has been now confirmed by an FBI agent, or are you going to believe the Garland, Biden Justice Department? I think the American people are going to believe these guys. The story tomorrow is the cover-up. It'll be how the administration covered up this financial scandal. That's what you're going to see tomorrow, correct? Yeah, remember, Attorney General Garland said the U.S. Attorney David Weiss had complete authority to handle the case how he wanted. Well, Mr. Shapley, one of the IRS whistleblowers, said David Weiss told the investigative team just the opposite, that he wasn't in charge of deciding where charges are filed and who gets and when they do that. So you've got two different stories. Both can't be right. And again, the credibility seems to be all on the whistleblower side. I just worry about investigation and scandal fatigue. It's very difficult for viewers to follow who met who and where and who said what and who contradicts that. You know, you can get awfully lost in these weeds. I think our job tomorrow, and perhaps yours too, is to deliver clarity. I want to know in simple, understandable terms exactly what happened. And can you do it? I think we can. And, you know, one thing I've learned is when you have whistleblowers testifying in front of Congress, let them blow the whistle. Let them communicate. So we've had FBI agents who've come as whistleblowers. They knocked it out of the park because they told their story. And the Democrats wound up attacking them, not on what they said, just attacking them personally. I think if that happens tomorrow, we'll see. But I think you let these individuals give their testimony, which, again, has not wavered. Which is quite different, frankly, from what we're hearing from the Biden-Garland Justice Department. Congressman, you're threatening to hold FBI Director Christopher Wray and Facebook Chief Mark Zuckerberg in contempt of Congress. Seems to me you are pulling all the levers of congressional power to get to the bottom of big tech censorship. This is a full court press on your part. Yeah, we want to know the internal communications. We know that the government, as I said, was pressuring big tech to censor speech. We want to see the internal communications because we think Facebook was probably working right along with the government willing to do this. We want those communications that, frankly, Twitter turned over to us and gave to the whole country via the Twitter files. So we'd like to see that information from Facebook. They refused to give it to us, so we're pushing ahead. And then, of course, with Director Wray, there's a lot of things we want to know. But specifically, who were the 5 agents who signed off on this memorandum that said if you're a pro-life Catholic, you're now a radical, you're an extremist? How does that happen in the Richmond field office of the FBI? How does that thing get approved? And they won't let us talk to the 5 individuals who signed off on that memorandum that was so egregious and so wrong. So we're going to get some accountability at some point, right? I hope so. I hope so. And you're going to drive this train real hard, aren't you? Well, we have to. That's our job. It occurs to me that had the Republicans not won control of the House, we wouldn't be hearing any of this. None of it at all. Of course not. I don't know that these whistleblowers would have been willing to come forward, both in the FBI and the IRS. None of that happens but for the American people deciding they wanted to put Republicans in charge and make Speaker McCarthy, Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House, who has been, 100% for us doing our constitutional duty of oversight. Again, that doesn't happen if the American people don't put us in charge of the House of Representatives.
Well, we'll all be watching, Jim, and thanks very much for telling us how important this is going to be. Jim Jordan, everyone. Good stuff. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.